Hey everybody! This is the new Barton Musical Circuit's Chordizer module. This is a sort of specialized quantizer that you use to take a single CV input and then have 4 CV outputs that are offset from each other so you create these quantized chords. I'm going to show you kind of one feature at a time. So I'm going to turn the volume up and I'm going to just adjust the offsets. And our input is coming from this guy over here, and I'll kind of move that around too. And so the next thing I want to show you is the tune switch. When this is on, every output is going to go to 1 volt. And so that way it lets you tune all your oscillators together. We're actually only listening to 3 oscillators right now. But let's... There we go. So that's actually slightly detuned just because I have 1 oscillator that's not great. Let's see. And so this control right here, this is our chord select. So this works with our save and load buttons here. And there's also an external input for load, which that's what this guy right here is. And so this lets you save these offsets and then load them up and use voltage control to select what chord you're using. And I actually have the keyboard module over here that I'm going to use to actually select different chords. And these are kind of ones I sort of made at random. They're not going to necessarily be very musical. And so with these together, you could actually have a sequencer where you're sequencing both the voicing of the chord and the root note using just 2 different voltage controls to get 4 different outputs. Let's see. Okay, next is scale. So this is selecting what scale it quantizes to. There's a documentation PDF that has all of these note sets written out for you, but I'll just kind of... So you can see how it's changing with that. I won't go too deep on that today. And then, next is slew. I'll go ahead and turn that up really high so you can really hear it, which I think this is a very cinematic kind of sounding function. And it can get really slow when you turn it all the way up. Let's see, what else is there? So this this toggle right here sets output 2 to always be a 5th above the input, just because that's a very common offset you'd want to have in a chord. I just wanted to have that be very easy to get to. And then this toggle right here is quantize then offset. This will quantize the input CV before applying the offsets. And so that way you're going to have the entire chord change at once. Otherwise, if you change the offset just a little bit, one of the notes in the voicing might change while the others remain the same. And so it can be very musical when this is disabled. Let me turn that up, actually. And then let me turn this on. So that's a little subtle. You might not be able to hear that because the audio is not great from my camera, but you're getting everything changing at once when this is enabled. And then the last feature is the select button, which also has an external trigger input. And this just lets you cycle through the chords that you've saved, just going next, 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 next. And the toggle right here is whether you toggle upwards or downwards, or when it's in the center, it toggles through them randomly. Yeah, so that's pretty much what it does. It's a pretty musical and powerful module that is kind of a... it's more wiring than some of my other modules, but it's not the most complex thing I've ever designed. And yeah, thanks for watching.